the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast. What up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night here on the Transformer World? This is the Transformer Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream main event. I'm your host, Proto Man. This is the face that runs this place, and we are back in the toy room. Last week we were in the video game room. We were trying some stuff here and there. Just wanted to have some fun, try some different shooting and stuff. I'm going to probably, in the near future, we're going to try another different space in this crazy house of mine. We're going to do some two camera things I'm planning like we're going to have like the main face cam, and then we're going to have a top-down cam where we're going to check out cool books and toys and stuff so we could have a very intimate experience. But we're here tonight, Saturday night. We're going to cover some news. We're going to take some super chats from the fans. We're going to talk about some cool stuff we messed with this week, as well as some stuff that we got in the mail, some stuff that I worked on actually that finally showed up in the mail. Cover some news, some new updates and everything. Aaron Archer is here too. We got to cover some stuff with Aaron also. I actually put them aside because the hunt continues. Aaron knows exactly what I'm talking about. We'll cover that in a moment. But how we all doing? Good to see everybody. We got Mikey and Louie. We got Bigum. We got Rodimus Power is back. Sheriff. Who else we got? Michael Koo is here. Orlando. We got T-Formers 2002. Horned Owl. Ring of Doom, who is a Patreon member. Who else? Ashnut is here. Link CW. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Everyone's still filing in because it's still early. But let's jump into it. We got a lot of news to cover. It's been quite a busy week. And I always, whenever I tabulate the news throughout the week, I kind of go, how many slides do I got? And whenever I go over like 10, 15 slides, I know we got a busy week. And this has a lot of stuff to cover. So let's jump into it, shall we? We're going to cover with all of that Missing Link news. Missing Link has been the flavor of the week for sure. This news dropped early last Monday, and we've been talking about it all week. Little pieces here and there and everything that's going on. All we know, it's going to be a brand new line going into the 40th anniversary of Transformers and creating something, for lack of better words, the missing link between Generation 1's simplistic articulation to the modern articulation of today. What fans have been asking for years. Why not take it G1 and give it modern articulation? And that's pretty much what they're doing here. And Takara Tomy gave their official announcement today on their Instagram and their Twitter and everything on TF_PR, their public relations account. And here is Missing Link. And it's going to be going up on pre-order on August 9th, Japan time, which is August 8th, evening, more or less, USA time, which is going to be a Tuesday. And if history has told us anything about our Transformer Tuesdays, expect a lot of pre-orders that day. So let's jump into it. So what do we got? So here's some slightly even more updated images. I tried to crunch everything that we know thus far. So this is the C01. These are all numbered here. So the first version is Transformers Missing Link C01 Toy Convoy, aka Toy Optimus Prime, with major articulation, all kinds of different parts, trading card, Energon Axe, Matrix of Leadership. It's looking good. The planned MSRP on this one is 17,380 yen, which is about $122 USD. Again, like I said in my individual segment, it's hard to quantify right now what a re-release of a G1 Optimus Prime, let alone all the new tooling. Let's ignore all the new tooling and the extra stuff that's included. Just a re-release of Optimus Prime today. The last time we got that in Japan, it ran about $120. So it was kind of in that same thing, but that's Japan overpaying for their Transformers like they always do. And the yen currency, in America, we had the individual release with the Walmart exclusive. And prior to that, we had the commemorative version, but that was almost 20 years ago. So I'm not going to compare the apples and oranges of the pricing of something that came out 20 years ago, let alone the cost of plastic and die cast today, which is a whole other conversation. precious materials, whole other different story. But if anything, this might be a strong reflection of just what a reissue Optimus Prime would probably cost in the modern era today. Might be cheaper. Maybe when Hasbro Pulse gets this, it'll be $100 item. Maybe 99 bucks. We don't know. Last time we really saw, and Aaron was working on the Transformer team at that point, but the last time we saw a G1 Optimus Prime issue was that 25th anniversary one, which was the one that came with the DVD and the comic book and the talking stand. It was this fancy little box set that they did. And that was a $70 item. And that was in 2008. So still more than 10 years ago then. So it's very hard to really put a price on this today with that new tooling and everything like that. But again, pretty much translates to $122 as it stands right now. It could be cheaper later on. We will see. The planned release date for this is February 2024. Pre-orders go up Tuesday coming up, if not the Wednesday in Japan. And that's the toy version. Then we have Transformers Missing Link CO2, the anime convoy, aka cartoon colored Optimus Prime. Now, this one obviously has a lot less and could be a little more comparable to what we've had recently, which was the Walmart exclusive retro reissue G1. That was a $49.97 item, 50 bucks for easy math. Went on crazy clearance because I guess no one really wanted an Optimus without a trailer. Went as low as $15, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. This one here, again, it's just the hyper articulated figure with all the new deco, all the new coloring, potentially a brand new head sculpt on there too. The trading card, the Matrix of Leadership, the Energon Axe, and the bloated version of the Ion Blaster that came with the original toy. And the MSRP on this one in Japan is 10,780 yen, which translates to about $75.50. So that's where now we could kind of go, okay, we had an Optimus in 2019 through Walmart. That was a $50 item, no trailer, nothing. It had two guns and the two fist plug-in ports. That's it. No trading card, no Energon Axe, no Matrix. Straight up re-release of the original toy without the trailer. That was that. And it was $50 and it didn't sell very well. And then it went down to 25 and then 15. So this is something where, is it worth it for you to have the premium paint scheme, the brand new tooling? Thank you for being a subscriber, Gabriel. The brand new tooling, um, the new paint scheme, the trading card, the brand new accessories. There's a lot to take apart there at that $75 price point. So that's something that a lot of people are going to have to do a little bit of self-reflection if this is something for you with this line. We have a super chat here from Joseph Ritter. How you doing, Joseph? Since G1 characters sell so well and are so popular, why doesn't Hasbro just remake the G1 cartoon with modern tech and flesh out the original story? Well, my friend, that is the old line that Jim Starlin, the creator of Thanos, said. Jim Starlin and Chris Claremont, who is also a prolific X-Men writer, said this the best. If Hollywood, for verbatim, did 100% what they did in the comics, they would have to pay them a royalty. What happened is back in the 90s when they had the X-Men cartoon that Fox ran, they did a lot of episodes that were a little too close to what Chris Claremont was writing. And because it was so close to what Chris was writing, Chris actually attempted to sue Marvel and at the time Fox Studios for pretty much using his own writing without giving any kind of royalties. Because with comic book stuff, you at least get royalties on your stories if they're reprinted or whatever. They were pretty much using his stories without his permission, calling it teleplays, the whole story there. Later episodes of the X-Men actually credited him at the beginning of the episodes because of that. So long story short, in relation to all of this, if they start taking the old G1 episodes and then modernizing them and fleshing them out, well, they might have to do royalties to all those people. David Wise, who's not with us anymore, as well as a few other people. And at the end of the day, they rather just get some guy to do it on the cheap, and that's that. If you want to flesh out original stories, then you just hire new people. in a lot of ways, isn't that just kind of what the War for Cybertron stuff was? They took the old G1 characters and did original stories. Now, were those good? Well, that's debatable. So it's something where we kind of got what we asked for. Did we like it is the better question. Maybe they want something better. Maybe the Go 90 stuff wasn't what they were asking for with the, Prime Wars trilogy stuff that they did under John Warden and the Machinima stuff. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. In all honesty, um, I think we need to do something fresh. As much as people love the G1 designs, we've been getting them for quite a few years. You can't argue that, let's say even something both Cyberverse and Earthspark gave us Generation 1 flavored designs. You got to give people stuff new. You can't do the same thing over and over. And not to mention, when you do, if let's say hypothetically, it's all about the merchandising and marketing, you do a new cartoon that has the G1 designs all over again. What are the toys that you release with it to promote that cartoon, or vice versa to promote those toys? It's just going to be G1 all over again, the same G1 toys. Well, Protoman didn't just reissue the Studio Series stuff and everything. So you're going to convince retailers to put out the same product again? Maybe they might be hesitant to buy so many cases. So you got to look in the deep weeds of the business side of it before those kind of decisions get made. It's always better to do something new. It might be perceived as risky by some fans, but new is always better from the business standpoint because it could always be fresh for the retailers, fresh for new fans as well as old fans. And let's be real, if a Netflix series, War for Cybertron, Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom didn't exactly move the needle in a lot of ways. The Siege one was number one for weeks, and then it kind of tapered off by the time we got to Earthrise and Kingdom. If that didn't move the needle for them, does that really tell Hasbro that we should go all in on G1 with future stuff? Kind of risque. Kind of risque. That's just my take. I mean, there's layers to that, but that's just kind of the micro example of it. Thank you for the super chat, Joe Joseph. Thank you. Mikey Louis says would love some G1 cartoon season 5. Well, we got that with Headmasters in Japan. Um, where else we got here? Mikey Loon says, I'm a bit disappointed with the Beast Wars storyline from the Netflix show. Well, that was also because it was a non-union writing team with a non-union voice acting team, and you get the quality that comes with the non-union stuff. So there's a reason why those writers are fighting for what they're fighting for. I'm not taking sides, but I'm just being real. Look at the results. Ryan Strange, I need a new Optimus design that turns into a fire engine or ladder truck. Again, something different. When Fire Convoy from Robots in Disguise came out, that was something different. It still was channeling that G1, but it was something different. The Aaron Archer era of the Unicron trilogy was 3 different silhouettes of 3 different Optimuses, something fresh each time, different kinds of combinations, different kinds of transformations, different kinds of ways the character was shaped. You got to go fresh. You can't always just do the same thing over. That same Optimus design has been plaguing us for quite a while now. Man, since the end of Robots in Disguise 2015. And when you think about it, I mean, we're not too far away from 2025. So are we almost going on 10 years of the same Optimus design? Where during, 5 years of Unicron trilogy, we got 3 different Optimus designs, if not more, if you want to even dive a little bit into movie. So it is what it is. I don't want to go too deep into that, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, yeah. Let's continue this. We'll take some more questions in a moment, but thank you again for the super chats. Um, so Anime Convoy. Yeah, again, if it's worth it for you at 75, 50, I don't know. But both of these are going to be released February 2024. Pre-orders will start probably this Tuesday, and we'll see more of Missing Link. I know there was a lot of fake stuff going around. That's why I wanted to debunk it, because there was a lot of, the fandom is weird like that, and a lot of times I kind of ignore a lot of the fake images that get released. Or, I don't want to bring attention to them because that's really what these guys want to do, is get attention. But sometimes when it gets so much attention, you kind of have to nip it in the butt and let people know, hey guys, here's what's really going on here. And unfortunately, that Megatron is not real. I would have liked it to be real, I'll be honest with you, but not the case, unfortunately. Michael Koo with the YouTube member question or comment if the fandom has some power over the stuff we love. For example, have we gotten a fifth season of ST Enterprise to refit with NX-01? That's probably a Star Trek reference that is going right over my head. If it isn't Star Trek movies, I don't know what's going on. That's literally my limitations of Star Trek knowledge. I like the movies when I catch them in little small pieces. But yeah, so then we had afterwards some more Transformer stuff, but this was the Beast Wars Premium stuff. We talked about it just a couple of days ago, and it's the Beast Wars BWVS '06 Ferocious Battle Dinobot versus Tarantulas 2-pack. I dive deep into this one and every little bit and piece that is different about this. So if you want to go get the full version of this with all the photography and comparing it to the Kingdom version and why this one's a million times better and why you should get it and why it looks like a mini masterpiece and why it's so amazing, go check out that segment after this. There's a lot of cool stuff I cover there with it. All the things we talk about today, more or less, we did individual segments, except for some of the later stuff that we're going to talk about today. I saved it for this live stream tonight. Got to have some exclusive stuff for the live stream. So this BWVS version, this is 9,900 yen, which after exchange comes to about 6,950, which is on par for the course what the past 2-packs that have been a Voyager and a Deluxe have been with the BWVS Beast Wars Again series. So I'm estimating probably going to be 69.99 again on Hasbro Pulse. Also is going to be going up on pre-order on that Tuesday, so stay tuned for that on Hasbro Pulse. That is going to be another one of those dates along with the Missing Link stuff. Release date January 31st, 2024. Nice New Year's present will be this nice little set. And man, oh man, it looks good. And from what people have been telling me, I didn't realize this, the original Kingdom one was very difficult to find and is going up in value quite a bit. So anyone who is having difficulty getting the Kingdom Dinobot, good for you for not being able to get it and waiting it out, because this is probably going to be the better bet. And if you're paying more than like $60 for Kingdom Dinobot, pay a couple bucks more and get Tarantulas, who, by the way, even the legacy version is a 10 out of 10 figure. So I think it's quite amazing, this 2-pack, and is worth every penny at $70 when it's all said and done. And it comes with the golden disc, so on top of that, you get the golden disc that came from the Pterosaur uh, Amazon version. So nice little pack. Can't go wrong with that one. Dinobot is top tier, in my opinion. So good stuff. Good stuff. Let's get into some other beast related stuff. In this case, fast food. We talked about it early this week quickly, but I just want to cover it again. So in Ecuador, this showed up just last week with their cool kids menu, kind of like their version of Happy Meals, uh, for $5.99 American. Apparently, Ecuador works with American currency. I did not know that, but for $5.99 American, you get also with your kids meal for free one of 4 different Rise of the Beast action figures. Now, these are non-transformable, but in the modern era of fast food toys, they're not so much that they're transformable, but they have some kind of gimmick to them, some kind of play element. So the Optimus Primal, you move a switch on his back and he beats his chest. The Optimus Prime has a missile launcher. The Bumblebee has a punching gimmick, and the Cheetor, his back legs have a spring in it so he could lunge forward. So these are out there, $5.99 if you're in Ecuador. I don't know if they will be available in other regions. This is just an early test market. To be honest, kind of weird that it's this late in the game. But I mean, it's something they probably should have done last month if it was going to be something available in America, but it is what it is. We got a super chat from Isaiah Nanya. Fast and the Furious set Dom and Brian O'Connor opinion. Are you talking about like if they did a collaborative of them? Um, as someone who comes from the racing world, the Fast and the Furious movies, the first 3 were pretty decent movies. Personally, my favorite one is the third one because I think that was the one that was the most, I guess, true to the racing world. If, a little glamorized. First Fast and the Furious movie was a very clean looking drag race world that when I was in college was nothing like that. It was literally a bunch of guys meeting quickly in a dead alley and burning out and then getting out of there as quick as possible before anyone calls the cops. So, uh, but yeah, be pretty cool. Be pretty cool. Um, I don't know how it's going to work with the royalties with the actors. Because if you have to make action figures that look like the actors, you do have to pay royalties. I wonder how Jada does that, because Jada does the Fast and the Furious stuff. Right now, if you go into the Toys R, if you go not Toys R Us, if you go into Walmart and you go into their diecast section, you could pick up a bunch of Fast and Furious figures with a little, Dom figure with them. So I don't know how that works. Tokyo Drift was the third one. Yeah, that's my favorite of the bunch, and it actually has a cameo from Kenji Tsuchiya, who's known as the Drift King in the Japanese racing world, and so it's nice that he made a little cameo. He's the fisherman in one scene in that movie, so that was a nice touch too. And the live action actress of Sailor Mars from Sailor Moon, from when they did that live action Sailor Moon series, she also has a little role in it too. So it's a nice little movie. Nice little movie. I like that one the most out of the bunch, in my opinion. First one is good too. Second one's a little over the top. The second one starts the show as they're starting to deviate a little bit, and by the time you get to all the others, you've already lost me. Those ones were a little too much. It's all about family, and cars that could fly now. So I kind of forgot where it started. It's like, imagine if you started with Transformers in '84, and by the time you got to like '94, actually no, Fast and Furious has been around for more than 20 years. So it's by the time you got to like, let's say, the Armada era, right? It wasn't about Transformers anymore. It was about like, zombies or something. Like, it just completely isn't the name. It's definitely Fast and Furious, but more of an action movie now. Thank you for the super chat, Isaiah. Thank you for that. Um, so yeah, if these cars as Transformers, you say, well, you know what? Let's see. Jada, I think, has the toy rights right now. If they would do a crossover, the only problem with that is car licensing, because Fast and the Furious is all about those real life cars. Are you talking Dom's Dodge Charger, the old one? They have to now talk to Dodge. They have a good relationship, at least from when we did the alternator segment with Aaron Archer. It sounded like Dodge and GM had a good relationship with Hasbro, at least back then. So, I mean, they could go back and do it, but do they want to? Do they want to go back and do a crossover with, a Dodge vehicle that's, you know, from the 60s and the 70s, or would Dodge want to actually celebrate one of their newer vehicles and use it as a cross promotional item? That's kind of where you end up with that. So, you always have the business side of it that I think of more than anything. There's what we want, but then there's what business wants, unfortunately. T-Formers 2000, coincidence that Proto's favorite is the Japanese themed one. Nah, it's not so much. You know what? Let me tell you something, guys. As someone who's been in the racing world, the Fast and Furious movies have always been about drag racing, and drag racing is a straight line. Yeah, you could brag about how you meet your clutch and your shifting, but it's a straight line, and it's really more about the car than the man. When you get into drifting, it's more about the man than the car. And Tokyo Drift talked about drifting. Go watch Initial D, one of the greatest animes ever made, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, so there's no surprise that I like Tokyo Drift of the bunch. Also, a lot of my more favorite cars in the world were featured in that one. So it is what it is. But again, thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Um, so yeah, Carl Jr.'s. Go check it out if you're in Ecuador. Go pick yourself up a cheetor. I want to get that cheetor. I don't know why. Even though it could just be any cheetah figure, that accessory, like that cheetor. If I would have found it in the wild, I would have thought, hey, is that from like the Disney Tarzan movie, like a McDonald's toy? Like, I would have not made that connection. The other ones are clearly more Transformer toys, but that cheetor could have been from anything. But it is what it is, like I always say. Next up, so then we got more crossover stuff, actually going off of all the crossover stuff in the chat here today. But we'll start with actually, this is something that Aaron worked on back in the day, Metabots. So the Metabots S mobile game, also known as Metorotso Esu, their mobile game in Japan is going to be doing a special campaign event of different Transformer stuff. Now, what it is essentially is, if anyone who never played Metabots or knows the show, you have the Metabot characters, and then they have different pieces: the head, the body, the arms, and the legs. And there's different pieces, and you build your best Metabot. So they're having these whole complete sets of Metabots that then you could piece out and then use with your Metabot characters. So you have Prime Truck, you have Kong Primal, and then you have Tyra Megatron, And those are the Metabots. They look like the Transformer characters, but they're actually Metabots of the Transformer characters with those names. And you could also get special skins for your Meta Fighters, and that's the ones on the top left there. So you could get one that looks like Bumblebee, one like Pterosaur, one like Black Arachnia, one like Primal, one like Optimus, and one like Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron. So looking good, looking good. And again, the whole point is that you take those parts and you can mix and match them with your current Metabot rollout, and you could get some really wacky stuff going on there. So that's available right now. It is not on the App Store for American cell phone users at the time being, but it is available on the Japanese one. Um, it's not Hung Primal, it's Kong Primal, Kongu Primal. Probably should have said it in Japanese. Kongu Primal. But yeah, good stuff. Again, I always love Metabots. Really good stuff. We got a super chat from First Guy Jake255, $5 super chat. Thank you, the First Guy. What are your thoughts on the HasLab Ghost? Do you think that all its tiers will be backed? A lot of people are concerned. I'm hoping for a final push. Well, how much time is left on that Ghost? Because I mean, look, with the exception of like people really excited about some GI Joe stuff, in general, most people don't do their backing of tiers until like the last 24 hours. That's how I always feel. I mean, even some stuff that people were nervous about that they were worried might not get backed, like some of the Transformer stuff, by the last 24 hours, people swoop in. You know, that's what usually happens. There's a lot of people that are like, well, I don't want to back it unless, you know, unless all the tiers get unlocked. And then once those tiers get unlocked, then all of a sudden everyone floods in. So it's kind of one of this game of playing chicken right now. So the question is how there's 30 plus days still. Well, guys, still too early. Still way too early. I didn't realize it was that much. I thought it was still like 2 weeks or something. Okay, so then no, there's nothing to worry about. It's still we're calling it way too early. Way too early. Let's get back to me in 25 days. We'll get back to me in 3 weeks from now and then we'll have this conversation. So, I didn't realize it was that much. Okay, so cuz again, the fans will they're always playing that game. It's the same thing even with a Kickstarter. It's like, "Oh, if we meet certain tiers, we'll unlock these certain, stretch goals and stuff." It's the same thing. It's where they're everyone's like, "You know what? I'll back it, but only if those tiers get unlocked." And then they all wait it out until those tiers get because they don't want to lock in on something and then it only gets the first tier. So it's that little waiting game, and they're all playing chicken with each other, and we'll see. But pretty cool. Otherwise, I'll keep me posted on that one. But um, it's like Michael Koo said, it's great. However, that latest Star Wars HasLab has met its funding goals. Well, that one, Star Wars fans in general, when they have something that they go crazy for, like that huge item that they have for the HasLab right now. Uh, like I said, sometimes you have stuff that's like almost a given, and it just right away kicks a lot of butt. So thank you for the super chat, though. The First Guy. I doubt you'll be the last guy. Mayoral Fabrication. What up, Mayoral? Yo, found the One Ring card and a wrapper offer to buy. Oh, yeah. Yo, found the one and a wrapper offered to buy it. What Proto Man do you think of the $2 million today? So that was Post Malone who paid that. Now, keep in mind, guys, Post Malone is a ridiculously huge Magic the Gathering fan. He bought a Black Lotus Alpha, no, a beta, excuse me, Black Lotus that was graded, that was signed by Christopher Rush. He paid big money for it. This guy has a lot of money. He even has a Magic the Gathering Secret Layer set that's based on him. So part of me feels a little bit of this is backdoor marketing for the One Ring and to get people excited. I don't want to go too tinfoil hat on it, but I find it funny. Some Canadian guy finds it and then sells it to Post Malone for $2 million. Who just happens to be a guy who's been in Magic the Gathering sets and has quite a reputation with Wizards of the Coast. But I'm not going to get too deep into that because I'm basing this off of completely nothing. And I'll admit it when I have nothing to base it on. But is it worth $2 million? Hell no. Magic the Gathering is based on playability, not rarity. There's cards that are more rare than the Black Lotus, and they're not as expensive as the Black Lotus. So I think this is just hype. And by Post Malone buying the card for $2 million, assuming he did, uh, doesn't mean anything to me. It's not a super powerful card. It actually hurts you in the long run of the game. It actually might even kill you in a game of Commander for people that know what I'm talking about. So, whatever. It is what it is. It's a one of one. But you know what? There's a lot of cards in Magic the Gathering that are one of one that are out there. There's specific artist print cards, there's test play cards, there's all kinds of stuff that are out there, and they've never sold for $2 million. So for a card that really doesn't have the best functional play and it's one of one, yeah, okay, it's got that Lord of the Rings prestige to it if that means something to somebody. But at the end of the day, I don't know, not feeling it personally. And that's coming from someone who's a huge Magic the Gathering fan. And no offense to Post Malone. Hey, you're allowed to do what you want with your money, brother. That's cool. But kind of funky to me that all of that went down. It is what it is. Thank you for the super chat, Mayoral. Damian Winford with the gold super chat for $10. Thank you, Damian. Hey, Proto, are you going to get the buzzworthy Bumblebee Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime? I have not yet seen that in stores. People have been telling me that it is being scalped like crazy. I have not yet seen one in person. I was actually out today doing some toy hunting, did not see it at all. I have been looking for one personally. But I'm going to wait. I'm not worried. You know, a lot of times with movie toys, there's always a second opportunity. I'm reminded back in 2007, 2008, when people were paying in ludicrous amount of money for that new Camaro Deluxe Class Bumblebee, and then they re-released that mold a million times. And anyone that paid $80 or $60, whatever, for that deluxe figure back then on eBay, man, that's egg on your face. Let's put it that way. And I learned my lesson back in 2003. You know, to kind of take it easy and pace yourself when it comes to certain product because you do get cheaper opportunities. You know, while these are manufactured products that do have a shelf life and are not made in the billions, but they are made in the millions in some cases, and they are purchased by people that we know in the community. And sooner or later, people get bored of these products, and then you get your opportunity to pick it up. So, not too worried about that one, but it would be nice to get, but I'm not going to break my back over it either. There's a lot more cooler stuff to purchase, in my opinion, in the Transformer world than yet again another movie Optimus toy. Let me tell you. Just look at my Instagram with some of the stuff I buy. But thank you for the gold super chat, brother. And best of luck trying to track one down. Ashna Dawnbringer, if you're interested, Geek Daddy Life has a great chart that breaks it down. I'm doing fine and still tracking it up. I must have missed part of the conversation there. Uh, Ryan Strange, a third-party seller at Amazon, is selling it for $99.99. Oh, that's great. That's great. People are already scalping. Terrible. Terrible. Anyways, don't pay for scalper prices, people. Anyways, back to Metabots. Geez, we're still on the Metabot stuff. So again, individual pieces. Check it out, yo. Let's get into the next one. Speaking of trading cards, actually, so Takara Tomy, with their Duel Masters line, is going to be putting out some Transformers Duel Masters collaboration cards. Now, this is how you are going to get these. These are going to be a made to order item on Takara Tomy. It's going to be a 6-pack. It's going to be similar to like the Magic the Gathering Secret Layers. You get 6 cards in a special little box, and it's going to be Optimus Prime. It's going to be Optimus Primal. It's going to be Cheetor. It's going to be Bumblebee. It's going to be Megatron, and it's going to be Scourge, and it's going to be RC. Here's some nice non I guess the virgin versions of it. Look at that beautiful art there. So these are going to be made to order through Takara Tomy Mall. So if you have some way to order through Takara Tomy Mall, some kind of third-party guy, that would be the best way to get it. These are available right now as of this live stream, August 4th, and they will be closing this made to order August 14th Japan time. So August 13th, don't wait for our date. Let's put it that way. They are going to be 7,700 yen, so about $55.50. A little pricey for 6 cards, but they're special edition cards that are playable within the Duel Masters game in Japan. So it's pretty cool. And what I dig the most about them, despite the fact that the art is really good, also Nice little throwback here. What the RC art is actually using the Titans Returns HasCon exclusive Headmaster RC. So part of me wonders if that was a leftover piece of art from the Wizard of the Coast TCG, and they just decided to use it here because that existed during that Titan Return era. So pretty nice stuff. Really dig it. I'm actually kind of interested in these. I might have to find a middleman to pick these up because I don't mind paying $55 for some trading cards if there's some really cool trading cards from Japan. These are planned to ship out in November, so not long after you pay for it, they will be on your doorstep. Pretty cool stuff. And again, these are available now and it's a small window and they're going to be made to order, so it's not like there's going to be leftover inventory of boxes of it in Japan or something showing up. What is made is what is sold, and that is it. They do that with the other products too with Magic the Gathering. So this in the case is Duel Masters, which is a Takara Tomy line that was also brought over through Hasbro back in the day. It didn't really find its legs here in the Western market, but it's still pretty cool. So check that out, yo. And last thing we're going to cover, and it's something that I was working on. So first, let's cover what recently came out. So I was working on this one here. This just recently showed up in stores. This is the War on Cybertron Transformers deck building game. I worked on this set. This is the Hot Rod one, so I'm very happy about that one. So that's out in stores right now through Renegade Games, and thank you to Dan and the crew and everyone and working together on this. But something else I've been working on behind the scenes has finally been revealed. I have to pull up the press release because I have to be careful what I say so I know what is public. So I'm just going to open up the press release. Sorry, let me just open it up over here. And yeah, because I'm not going to talk about anything outside of what is written in front of me. So we have to talk about today Transformers the Robo Rally Velocitron tabletop game. Now, for people that are unfamiliar, Robo Rally was a tabletop game that was created by Magic the Gathering's creator, Richard Garfield, which is a strategic robot game that has tons of replay value because there's tons of different play elements and pieces. Reminds me a lot of the Transformers Armada board game, which is also absolutely fantastic. Probably the best Transformer board game ever made is the Transformer Armada board game until this one. So the Robo Rally one is coming. It's going to be themed after racing. Gee, did Proto Man work on this? The Velocitron collection. So I'm just going to go with the press release that was handed to me so I don't say more than needs to be said. Renegade Game Studios has announced the new addition to the Robo Rally lineup, and it's a bit more than meets the eye. Coming in 2024, Renegade will release the Transformers Robo Rally game, featuring the classic Robo Rally gameplay mixed with the iconic Transformer characters like Optimus Prime and Megatron. Players will be able to choose between 6 different Transformer robots. Can't talk about who they are, but you'll probably figure it out later on. Each with their own personal upgrades that make them unique for advantages and identity. Players can convert between bot and alt mode or vehicle mode to better navigate the many roads, building obstacles that make up each race. The game will also feature 4 completely new double sided boards, great for replay value, featuring the desert city landscapes of Velocitron. Hey, some Unicron trilogy stuff. You think I worked on this? So that's going to be coming out in 2024. We don't have a date yet. I could say that much. But stay tuned for that. Very excited about this. Little figurines and everything on the boards. Super multiple replay value with this. Very excited about this. Man, this has been going on for a while. So very happy. Go check that out, yo, guys. Really cool stuff. And I'll keep you guys posted when we know more about it. We got a YouTube member question. Actually, let me close now that press release. There we go. We got a YouTube member question from Rodimus Power. Which character is most likely for the Missing Link series? Well, you always got to go with the, like I always say, you always got to go with the Legendary 7. That's usually the best bet, I always say, for a lot of people. What happened there? One moment. So what happens, I open up the press release and everything closed on me. Come on. There we go. So, missing link. You know what? Again, I would like to see Megatron. I mean, that's the one that kind of makes sense in my opinion, but it would be very difficult to bring that over. So they might want to avoid doing Megatron. Soundwave is probably the next obvious option, although Soundwave as a toy really had a lot of good articulation. He had elbows. I mean, you give him a bicep swivel, I guess, but he had like, pretty decent head articulation, pretty decent leg articulation too for a 1984, dare I say 1982 Microman design. But that would be a cool one, you know? That'd be a really cool one. So we will see. But I would imagine Soundwave maybe take that old Microman Bumblebee and kind of upgrade that one a little bit, give it a little more articulation, new head sculpt and stuff. Uh, I mean, Shockwave is already perfect. Shockwave's practically masterpiece level in a lot of ways compared to the original. I mean, there's a few, but definitely start with the convoy and then work it from there. And we'll see. But I guess they're, look, release number one and release number two are Optimuses. They're going to see how those sell first. If those don't sell well, then that's it for the missing link line. But we will see. We will see what happens. Yeah, Grimlock's another good one too, Ryan. That's a good one. Grimlock's part of that Legendary 7 list. So Starscream, man, we already just came off of a bunch of reissues of Starscream, Mikey and Louie, so that one's tough too. So we will see. We will see. But definitely Megatron's the toughest one, even though it's the one that everyone would like. And I agree, that'd be the coolest, but that would be the toughest one. Black Crow of Vengeance number one with his YouTube member question. Any predictions on any future additional Transformers Legacy toy line? Well, we talked about, if you check in the link, the Transformers Legacy Uni that's going to be coming in 2024, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Transformers. Good mix of stuff. We're going to probably see Tigerhawk. We're going to see Beast Wars Silverbolt. We're seeing some kind of Rock Lord theme that's going to be happening next year. I mean, I'm just going off the top of my head from what I remember with some of those. There's some animated characters like animated Optimus Prime. We're probably going to see Lugnut at some point because he won the Hall of Fame. So at some point they're going to obviously fit in Lugnut there too from animated. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Um, I mean, all of that is probably going to be talked about in September when we have the Hasbro PulseCon live stream. So I believe that's September 22nd. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere around then. So we will see what happens with that. But a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff is going to be coming next year. 40th anniversary. It's going to be a big year. Big year. 20 years ago, when it was the 20th anniversary, that was the debut of Masterpiece. That was the debut of Energon. And Energon then later on had alternators and like 2003 2004, that 20th anniversary bubble was quite a year for Transformers. I can only imagine what's going to happen afterwards. uh Joseph Ritter, anything to the game version of Triptychon coming? Gamer edition, we don't know anything yet. I did a Q&A segment with Mark and Evan said they would like to do Triptychon, but that doesn't mean that it's on the cards right now. And Triptychon would be a Titan class kind of thing. I could see them doing it because they got to use that trademark sooner or later. So it could happen, maybe in the next couple of years. We will see. But I mean, Gamer Edition right now, it sounds like they want to do War for Cybertron stuff, but they also want to go outside of just the Activision games, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff they want to tackle too. Michael Koo with the new Dion figure with the War Dawn set. Do you think Hasbro will create a new history for Dion? Well, you got that new mold there with Hotshot. So you got Hotshot colors, you got the Powerlink colors that we're going to be getting. Sooner or later, they're going to do those Collector Club Dion colors. And then because you got that little Coptor, little shaped Jolt figure, anyone who knows Collector Club Dion that came with Coptor, the GoBot, uh, I could totally see that happening. And that could be like a Generation Selects release, and someone's going to buy it. But considering we just had Dion put out, they're probably going to wait maybe 2 to 3 years before they do that. There's no point in doing so many die-ons right away. So we will see. We will see. Protoman doesn't know anything about drag racing. Mikey, please. Please, brother. You have no idea. You have no idea. There's footage of me doing that stuff back in the day. Tons of it. Tons of it. You have no idea. It's just someone that doesn't know how to corner, being very scared of the brake pedal. Tom Laney, do we know what characters are going to be the new Cosmos out of the Toxitron collection? Um, that we don't know. That we don't know. We did know that we are going to be getting probably a new Cosmos at some point. We don't know the specifics on it. I have a Q&A segmentation that I'm going to probably be talking about next week with from Mark and Evan, where they kind of address some of that stuff. I have to go over it because it's a huge segment. I've been breaking it up over the past couple of weeks because there's so much, hundreds of questions, and a lot of them are kind of like the same old questions. So I have to like go through it all and pick out the stuff that's like, we don't need to hear the same thing again. Yeah, when are you doing Fusors? Like we know we have that answer. It's coming. So I've been still kind of editing stuff. Like we did the Gamer Edition one. We recently did the Studio Series one. We're probably going to do a more of a legacy and store exclusive segmentation one this week coming up for sure. Stay tuned for that whole show. Uh, Horned Owl would love to see Gamer Edition, Earth Wars, Sentinel. Yeah, the Earth Wars exclusive. Those two guys, but they'd have to be new tooling. And then what do you do with those afterwards? Sentinus Maximus and Malice. I remember those guys. Those were like a campaign exclusive. They were not like twins, but they were similar in design. So I guess if you do one new tooling, at least you could do something with the other. I guess so. I remember those when I was playing the game. I haven't played Earth Wars in a while. Like I found that my iPad couldn't handle it. As my city got bigger, my base got bigger, the iPad couldn't take it anymore. You know, really couldn't take it. It is what it is. But yeah, so again, that's coming out. This is out right now. Go check that out if you're into deck building games. Worked on this one, the War on Cybertron set. That's the Hot Rod set. So yeah, my boys in that one. So check that out. I guess we'll just do some sponsor stuff and then we'll just continue with super chats for the rest of the day and then some stuff that we picked up. So we'll do some Symbiote Studios talk. If anyone who didn't pick this up yet, check out Symbiote Studios' website. I'll also put up the QR code for people that just want to get the link directly. This is the Transformer Slag SDCC exclusive, but it is available on there with Symbiote Studios plush, pins, and t-shirts. All of that good stuff. Got Primal back there too. He's chilling on top of Ironhide. Not Ironhide, on Hound. But yeah, plush pins and t-shirts, all the good stuff there. Look at that crew. Look at all of them there. We still got more coming out in 2023, going into 2024. So stay tuned for those. More to be added to the collection. Go check them out, symbiotestudios.com. A lot of delicious, delicious stuff there, as well as the stuff that they sent for SDC, the beer koozies or the drink koozies and all of that. And the shoulder figures. I don't even know how these work. You're gonna have to show me how these work. Oh, it's actually it's a magnet. So you put a magnet under, and then it goes. Actually, well, let's just try it right now. I haven't opened it yet. I've been so busy since getting back from CFCon. So avoid the silica gel. So it's a magnet. Okay, so then you put it under your shoulder, I guess, like that, and then that actually works. Huh? Look at that. Look at that. You need to make some Transformer ones. I think people would dig that. Oh, look at that. Should I leave this the whole segment now? Let's leave it here as long as I can. Here we go. People are going to be coming into the stream going, what is that on his shoulder? It's Catnip Bravo. He's on the chest here. There he is with Optimus. Where are we at? Let's see. Proto, when are we getting a deck building beasties? Can't talk about it. NDA. Link CW, from what I hear, G2 Stunticon Sideswiper, one per case of Toxtron correction. That I can't confirm. I'd have to check a good source for that, guys. Just that sliding down. I gotta. A good source for that, guys. Sometimes Earth Entertainment. It's a really good website for case assortment and prices. They usually have that information. There we go. There we go. That's kind of weird, but it's probably not meant for like guys who wear shirts like this with a collar, probably. Um, when do we get the rest of the Dinobots? We need a whole crew of plushie sets. Well, you have to wait and see for that one. You got the raccoon one. I got the raccoon one here too. I gotta put it on the other shoulder. Why not? Why not? Let's put it on the other shoulder until this gets annoying. I gotta get those silica gels. Fun fact for collectors. Where did I put the other one? Oh, that's not good. Always keep these and keep them with your very valuable comic books. They always eat up a lot of moisture. When I used to get BotCon exclusives back in the day, they used to come with like two of them in a box. There we go. Look at that. Jesus. Look at this. What is going on? Um, where are we at here? Need a shoulder wheelie plush. Ah, that's a good idea. Shoulder wheelie. I don't know if it would sell as well. Probably I would start with Optimus. Do like a cute little Optimus one and or a cute little Bumblebee. People would probably dig those. Especially with how big cosplay is with Transformers now. People would dig that. Paul with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Paul. Will TF year one movie toy designs always lag the design on the big screen? See Rise of the Beast Mirage. Well, that's the worry. Like Mark and Evan talked about that, and the segment that I did talking about Studio Series. Um, Mark and Evan talked about how one of the biggest problems was they were being fed slowly the early designs of Rise of the Beast, and as a result, they couldn't keep up with the designs. And that's why stuff like Optimus Primal having a mask or having the wrong accessories or weapons, or in the case like you mentioned, Mirage, all of that stuff. Which one's the angel? Which one's the devil? That's definitely the devil for sure. The evil corporate company known as Symbiote Studios. Now I love Symbiote Studios. Kill them. What's that? Kill them all. Kill them all. Um, where are we at here? Shoulder wheelie or Laserbeak would be awesome. Laserbeak, yeah, Laserbeak I could see. Laserbeak would be a good one. You could have a Soundwave one for like you get a Soundwave T-shirt, a Laserbeak. That'd be pretty cool. Will be another good one. I know, any mini con really. All the mini cons used to chill on people's shoulders. Um, but yeah, it's something where the Transformer One is animation and it's only animation. There's no, having to do live action stuff. So they could probably have a lot more pre-production stuff planned super early cuz with the live action movies, they plan the designs, but everything is filmed first before they even finalize those designs. So they probably go, "Okay, here's the characters, here's the early designs." They show them the Hasbro and Takara. They start getting to work on those early designs. They film the movie, then when they get around to actually implicating those designs, like the finalized versions into the movie and not just like early like, CG bodies that they use as stand-ins, um, things change. And so where it's a CG movie, now there's not, oh, we got to do all this on-set recording. It might be a different process. I think the best way to compare it is every single animated movie we've gotten up to this point. They're pretty one for one with the consistency of designs when we think of an animated movie like Frozen or any Disney movie. So because I guess the assets are better to work with there, they don't have to worry about actors. I don't know. It's a lot more difficult. So hopefully, and what you're referring to is Transformers One. I know they didn't call it Year One. I think DC would be calling them if they call it Year One. But Transformers One, hopefully there will be a strong consistency between how it looks on the screen and the product, and hopefully it's unique enough that it's not just the same old, same old. Let's grab a random YouTube member question. Black Crow Vengeance number one. On a scale from 1 to 10, how cool would it be for Gamer Edition Triptychon to be released hypothetically? It would be very cool. It would be very expensive, but it would be very cool. It would have to be a Titan class. And that's something that Evan wants to do. That's what he would like to do if there was no prices to worry about. But speaking of prices, let's talk about, again, the Primal. He's back there. We got to finish there's the Slag, which is chilling with me. And of course, there's your QR code. to go get all the other SDCC exclusives and sale items that are available. Go check that out if you want to. Nice little code there for you. We got a YouTube member question of 16 month. Ron Diaz, what's up, Ron? How much influence did studio have with the new movie? Well, what do you mean by this? Like studios with the new movie? Let's put it this way: Michael Bay, even though he's not directing, is still a producer. One of the things that I read that was a little concerning was Lorenzo de Bonaventura actually had to call Michael Bay to convince him to involve Beast Wars because Michael actually still has a final say in a lot of this, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. That Michael Bay still kind of has a say in all of this, even though there's new directors. He was a producer on this, Michael Bay, along with Lorenzo and Steven Spielberg. So I don't know, in the Hollywood world, how much control that leads to when it comes to making those final decisions. But it is kind of, it's kind of, yeah, you know. And I recently watched Rise of the Beast again. I watched it on Paramount Plus, and it's a good movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. It's definitely better than a lot of those other Transformer movies. Let me tell you. But it was a lot more quicker beginning, middle, and end. One thing that I did get an idea for was rewatching it now on my TV screen at home and pausing it. Um, all of those Montreal locations that I was on the set of, I'm tempted now when I get a moment, I'm going to probably go to downtown Montreal and I want to, like, with my phone, I'm going to try to capture the screen of those shots from the movie and then try to recreate them of where they are and make notes of that. So whenever people come down to Montreal, if they ever want, I could show them, here's all the locations from the movie. And if you stand right here and take a photo, you're on Noah's block, in the movie. You're on that scene where, you know, um, Mirage, like, drifted into that warehouse before he threw out, you're on that spot there. That was actually, where, where Transit got beat up, but you didn't really see much of that. The Maximal cave scene was recorded in Montreal, and it was a camera trick where it's like, oh, they're in Peru and they're opening this cave thing and they go into it, but the cave itself actually was recorded in Montreal. So that one's kind of the movie Hollywood magic. But so I could show you where all those locations were because I was on the set for all of those. So that was pretty cool. I'm tempted to do that. Tomorrow I'm actually going to see a movie in the old they call it the Latin Quarter Theater, where they play all like Japanese anime movies. Tomorrow I'm going to see the Slam Dunk movie, the CG Slam Dunk movie, making its debut in Canada, with Jaws D and a bunch of people. So very excited about that. That's going to be tomorrow. So I'm going to be downtown. I'll see. It's going to be late, mind you, so I don't want to take a photo at night. It won't look as nice. All the scenes that were shot, with the exception of the bus terminal, that was done at night, but everything else was done during the day. We'll see. We'll see. That'll be a cool little thing. People come down to Montreal and I could be like, hey, you want to take a shot on Noah Street? You know, Montreal's the world leader on caves. Well, we're an island. I don't know if there's not many caves in Montreal, actually. That cave that was used for the Maximal thing was actually a manufactured one. It was a set piece, a big tube for when they go down the cave, and then a fake corridor that was probably a big set piece. The new designs for the Beasties movie were so much better than the old Bay designs. Well, that is true. That I will agree. They were much more faithful to the original stuff. Uh, Black Crow Vengeance. What are your top 5 Transformer characters to army build? My top 5 are Viacons, Seekers, Autotroopers, Alicons, and Sharkticons. Never tried the troop build. The most I ever tried the troop build back in the day was when Transformers Prime existed. And they had the Viacons at that small legend scale. I bought a few of them and I'm looking at them right now. That was the only time I ever tried the troop build ever. I don't really count Seekers because you're technically troop building just by buying them. And I'm not going to count the BotCon army builder sets because you buy them and it comes with 3, and I didn't do that on purpose. So the only time I ever purposely bought multiples of something to army build was the Viacons from Transformers Prime, and that was that. But aside from that, that's more or less it. I mean, I'm not big on army building. When you kind of have a limited amount of space to display stuff, do you really want to buy three of anything unless it's Hot Rod or or a favorite character? Uh, I don't know. Again, I only did it with the prime ones because they're small, so it didn't take too much space. You buy three of them, and it's like, doesn't take too much space. But if it was a deluxe or a Voyager, oof, army building seeker jets and just like the generics at a Voyager scale, it's a lot of space that could be used. That is a beautiful transformer chair. Tell us about it. Oh, and the seats. Well then, actually, hold on. I got to get the slide for that one. And of course, if the lighting is with me today, which it isn't. Come on, lighting. Everything's too bright today. I don't know why. And the seats. Check out their chairs. Again, promo code ProtoMan, get 15% off, and it is stackable because the seats are on sale. I believe Megatron is sold out. I could be wrong. I have to double check that. I know he was sold out 2 weeks ago. I don't know if they got new stock. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Handaseats.com. Check them out, yo. And here's their full collection. Looking really good. And also, want to talk about this too, because got to cover it. So, Aaron Archer, check out the latest episode of the Toy Armada, which I put the wrong slide. Damn it. But the latest episode is the Beyblade episode. It's true because I did last week. We did the recording from the video game room. I had a different slide. But we did a Beyblade episode. Go check that out. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Ignore the Beastie stuff, but we also did a great Beast Wars episode. Check that out. The Toy Armada and Archer. Also, go pick up Aaron Archer's latest art book, The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 2 Color Edition. 20 Bones gets you a beautiful full color art book with 36 pages of beautiful Transformer art. Original art, not just art that's, you've seen before, but brand new art. Megatron still sold out. That's what I thought. I know he was sold out last week. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. But yeah, check it out. Good stuff. $20. And for an extra $15, he will sketch whatever you want. On the inside, on the opening cover, nice little spot there for a beautiful sketch and autograph. Get a beautiful book there, The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 2, Color Edition on archermonster.com/shop. Aaron sometimes says aaronarcher.com, but it's incorrect. There is no aaronarcher.com. Is there, Aaron? I know there's an archermonster.com, so check that out, as well as all their other stuff that they do. And I want to remind people too, and so Aaron is looking for instructions. I've been still on the hunt, been trying to find some for him. Any instructions from that era, 2001-ish, even some early Beast Wars, if you get some early Beast Wars instructions, but Armada, Energon, Cybertron, this is like a universe depth charge with, I believe, Joe Kide did the colors on this one for the depth charge. Anything from that adjacent era. Here's a Metroplex, I guess we'll call it at the time the Supreme class. You got this one here is the Doomlock from Energon. And then what's funny, Aaron? Like it was part of this Zevos. There's Steve Bono's little line there. It was part of it. One of my friend was digging through his stuff and he found some of those. So they're going on the stack to get to you. But if you have any that you do not need and want to send to Aaron, contact Aaron Archer Monster on Instagram. And you guys could work something out. Maybe he could give you a free art book or something if you have a whole bunch of them. He's looking to get as many as he possibly can so he could use for future art projects of related nature. So if you got any of the old instruction manuals and he wants the old ones, it's one thing to print out the instructions. He wants the old pedigree of that. So hook up a brother if you can. Joseph Ritter with the $15 super chat. At 15 gets you a sketch. What does 100 get you? Punch in the face? I don't know about that. $100. There's a lot of good stuff actually on his store right now that you could pick up for in that 3-digit range. There's a lot of beautiful paintings. He has some old classic books that he got from Japan of Transformer related stuff there. So check out his website, archermonster.com/shop. $100 will definitely get you a lot of cool stuff there too. Or it gets you a present. A signed punch in the face. He'll sign his own wrist and then he'll clock you one. Actually, he's left-handed, so he'll give you a southpaw. So it is what it is. But yeah, so there's that. So check that out. What else? What else? Is there anything else that I needed to cover? I think that's it, more or less. I wanted to cover. Hope these guys aren't falling too off there. Um, but yeah, so opened up today, cracked into a few things. I didn't crack into the Hasbro box. I've been so busy with other things. People aren't aware. Like, where's the Hasbro box? That was the big Rise of the Beast promo box. I still have not cracked into some of the others yet. Battle Trap is there. I haven't opened up the masks yet. I want to open up one of the masks, and but we'll get to those probably in the near future. But I did open up some of the TFCon stuff. I opened up the Cyberverse deluxes that I got from Anastasia that were on sale. What was the price that she got? She got a good deal on these. Look at that, $9. Where was this? I don't even know where that is. This is my Canadian butt not knowing where that is. But she got these for $9 each. Great deal. Thank you again, Anastasia. So I got Slag, aka Slug, and Starscream looking real good. These did not show up in Quebec at all. Jaws D found the slug for like 5 seconds, and then we never saw it again. And he managed to pick it up, but I couldn't find one for myself for the longest time. So thank you, Anastasia, for hooking me up with those. Good price too. Only $10. Can't go wrong with that for deluxes. The Starscream's fantastic. My goodness, didn't expect how much I was going to enjoy that one. Gonna probably take some photos for the Instagram. Go check that out. Actually, you know what? Should I change that to an X now? What's the story with that? Does it have to be X? The only X I know is Mega Man X. So I guess I'm not going to use the bird anymore. I'll leave it for now. I don't care. Doesn't change my world. Where we got here? Link CW, got to get to work done. Thank you for the podcast. Have a great night, Proto. We'll watch the rest later. Thank you, Link CW, for coming by. Ron Diaz, I want to see more European characters like Rapito. Rapito's awesome. Last time we got a figure of him was the Bakhan version, which was a repaint of the Universe 2.0 Prowl. And I remember that was a pretty in-demand figure back in the day. Aaron, didn't you have an extra one on your table at some point? Or someone bought one from you, I think. Like, that's a really cool figure. So if you want to get the best version of him right now, because the old one actually kind of hides his face. You can barely see it. There's like my European 1.5 UK section there. He's there with the rest of them. His chest was kind of up there. He's also part of G2. They did a G2 one that had the G2 one had the purple, the pink windows, and the uh, European version had the clear windows. Fun fact there. Where are we at here? T-Formers 2002. I think that now is the perfect time to release Evo Hot Shot as the unreleased smokescreen colors. Well, that's something where right now the Toxitron collection seems to be focusing on a lot of that G2 stuff, but I'm pretty sure if they could parlay that into unreleased other stuff, I mean, there's a lot of animated repaints we didn't get. Quite a few animated repaints. We didn't get the Wasp one. We didn't get that. What was it? Mercenary Swindle. There was a Vortex Blur. There were so many. You could just take those old tooling and just and I'm pretty sure people will be very happy with that. Toxitron Animated Edition, the Derek Wyatt collection. That'd be so cool. We got a gold super chat from Mark Morales. Thank you, Mark, for the gold super chat. Hey, Proto, any luck with the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus? The other people are asking me this too. Considering how scarce the figure has been, I hope we don't end up with another fiasco like the Earthrise Dirge and Ramjet, Netflix Soundwave, and Walmart Cosmos. Yeah, people have been scalping it. I have seen people on private groups trying to resell them, which is never cool. You know, the fact that people will, I believe they're two per case, and the fact that people would take both just to then turn around and put it. There's a guy locally in Montreal who's it's not cool what he's doing. He's buying a bunch of them. Don't want to name names, but anyone in the Montreal community could probably know who I'm talking about, especially in the toy convention scene. He's been buying them all up, and if they have been locally here, I'm not finding them. So it's been pretty rough. But yeah, I hope that, Hasbro's aware of that. I think, and what sucks is because it's a buzzworthy item, it's a store exclusive, and because it's store exclusive, Hasbro only gets so many units for the Hasbro Pulse website, so it makes it more difficult for the direct market. Hopefully Hasbro can maybe get more units made and then could put it on the website and make it,
Megatron
one per
must be
customer.
stopped,
That would be the
no
best hope,
matter the
you
cost.
know? Ron Diaz, thank you again for the gold super chat, by the way, Mark. Thank you. Very generous. Ron Diaz with the $2 super chat. Favorite John Warden mold from the Prime Wars trilogy. I gotta turn my head over here. That's a tough one, my friend. That's a tough one. There's a lot of really good stuff that came out of that. Gosh, just one? I don't know. That's a tough one. It's definitely not the hot rods because those were kind of Those were kind of okay, I guess. Headmaster hot rod. It's something I never thought I wanted. I really liked the Perceptor they did because that was kind of like the version that almost like we got in Cyberverse. That was really cool. I liked how they did Defensor, that whole team version, like the hotspot with that one. Both the Japanese and the Western version was really nice. I'm a fan of Victorion, or more specifically the Mega Empress repaint. That was a cool one. I don't know. It's hard. I got to do a lot of the copy for the Combiner Wars stuff, so I kind of want to avoid some of those because I might have a little bit of favoritism with some of them. But I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. It's cool that we got a proper updated Chrome Dome. Chrome Dome's always been one of my upper tier favorite Transformer characters. So to get a new version of him was cool. I think I like the Legends version the best though. That was the one that we got in Japan from Sakamoto. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Fortress Maximus, that falls in there too. The Triptychon falls into that also, the Titan classes.
Megatron
I don't
must
know,
be
brother.
stopped,
I don't know.
no
I
matter
can't
the
I can't give you one
cost.
answer. I'll just give you some of those, but there's a lot of really good ones. There's a lot of really good ones. All those how can I forget all the Pretender shells, the little decoy armors? Those are amazing. The Metal Hawk, the landmine, the fact that we got a bludgeon and a octo punch, and all of the three core Master Force evil pretenders of the main crew. So I dig all of them. I hope that's some good ones, Ron, excuse me. Hope there's some that kind of to chew on. I like those. Those are good. Kind of wish they did more of those decoy armors, but I think I was the only one buying those. Mikey and Louie, what do you think of this? What do you think the story will be for TF1? According to Lorenzo, it is a origin story of Optimus and Megatron when they were still friends before the war breakout, before he became a leader. So it's clearly going to be that story of two oppressed lower class Cybertronians breaking away and two different perspectives of how to deal with that. And one going terrorist, the other one going, leader role, and then obviously getting the Matrix, and it's probably going to involve Alpha Trion, which I think we've confirmed Alpha Trion's in it. Who I believe is Lawrence Fishburne. Who is it? I think that's voicing him. I think it's Lawrence Fishburne. Correct me if I'm wrong. Going off of vague memory, all that stuff might change in the long run, but that's what it sounds like. Origin story. Probably a 2 hour to an hour and 45 minute animated movie to give the origin story of Optimus. Is this tied to the movie verse? I sure as hell hope not. I hope this is fresh and clean and something new that does well and is way cheaper to do. That's at least what I hope. Tom Laney, speaking of anime, I think they need to make the Jet Brothers today's engineering. Oh man, some symmetrical docking. Love to see that redone again. That was one of my favorite releases from animated, and it came with a comic book. Came with a issue number 4 of the IDW animated comic. What a great little box set that is! Amazing little set. If you could get that set, pick it up any way you can. Such a great set. Horned Owl with the YouTube member question. TF/Dungeon Dragons crossover Owlbear Transformers. Let's go. I did not mess with any of that stuff. Um, I would see it on shelves and it's just pricey, and it's just me going, if I find it ridiculously cheap later on, I'll get it. Otherwise, I will leave those oversized Bakugan for another time. And it's no offense to it, looks pretty cool, but again, money should only be spent wisely, in my opinion. and it's not going to go into it's not going to go into that. Is there an owl bear one? I don't know. I know they did a dragon. I think they did like 3 or 4 when that news broke. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, those are kind of cool. The Dicelings, I think they were called Dicelings or something. They did those. Um, I guess the closest we have to an owl bear is what was his name? Icebird. What was it? Icebird, the Beast Wars mutant. I guess that's the closest we have to an owl bear transformer. It has a little robot head in it. It's supposed to be an Animorphs mold, but it's a whole other story. Look, I think it's Icebird from Beast Wars Mutants. Look that one up. Do you think Dion is going to be in the movie? I think so. They got to pad out that cast. All we know is Optimus, Megatron, uh, Bumblebee, and Alita. And then I believe Lawrence Fishburne is Alpha Trion or A3. I believe Alpha Trion. So we do not know who else is going to be in it, but probably they could put in if it's a pre-Cybertron story, I would imagine so. Put him in there. Do I don't know why Bumblebee's there. I mean, yeah, I know why Bumblebee's there, but they really should Ironhide would be one of the more wiser choices. A Cup character, like if Hot Rod's in it, that'd be dumb. Like Hot Rod should not be in that movie at all, and that's coming from me, so that says a lot. Um, on favoritism. We will see. Uh, Ashna Dawnbringer, will Hasbro sell E1? Will Hasbro selling E1 affect the movie stuff? Well, that was a question that I posed. My last segment is because E1 Entertainment was heavily involved with Transformers One, so I don't know how much that'll affect it. That might be that might be a whole other problem. I guess we're just going to have to get an update from Lorenzo. All I know is that whole E1 thing was a classic example of here's Brian Goldner and his goals with Hasbro and where he wanted to go. And then with his passing and the new CEO with Chris Cox going, here's where I see Hasbro is, and we don't need those assets. And I mean, one product of having those assets was the entire soundtrack of the Rise of the Beast movie was partially because of the ownership of the music catalog of what existed with E1 Entertainment. So now with that being absent, people are saying like, oh, they lost money by how much they sold it for. Maybe not. They used the music, they used the assets in different places, and then they sold some of those assets. Maybe they broke even when it was said and done, but they got to at least use some of those pieces. So that if anything, they rented that company, used it for what it needed to, and then gave it back, and got their money back in a lot of ways. I hope. At least that's what I hope. Hornell, are you talking about Dicelings? I mean, an actual Transformer. Yes, Icebird is awesome. Closest thing, though, it's an owl and it's a bear, but it's not an owl bear. Well, it's almost an owl bear. It has the spots and stuff on the side of it and the claws. But it's still cool and probably pricey. Those mutants are very expensive today. Mikey and Louie, Dion needs to be rebuilt into Ultra Magnus. In my canon fiction, I think Dion is Ultra Magnus. I've always felt that. I always felt the two were connected. It just makes sense. Uh, Black Crow Vengeance. What are your top 5 favorite Autobots from the aligned continuity? That would imply, if you're talking aligned continuity, are we counting the video game stuff? Because I would just count Transformers Prime and the RID cartoon, and then I guess Rescue Bots, if you want to even dive deeper into that. I like Smokescreen. I like Bulkhead. I like Strong Arm from RID 2.0. I like who else was good in that? Who else was good in it? Knockout was a fun character. Wheeljack was fun in it too. Who else was unique in that? I wasn't big on a lot of the RID characters, unfortunately. Like you had a character named Polar Claw, but he wasn't that cool. Thunderhoof was okay, I guess. Some of the Decepticons. People sleep on that series, and I mean, I don't want to say rightfully so, but it was okay. It was an okay series. It's definitely better than Earthspark, unfortunately. Earthspark, now that I've watched all of it, it's kind of like, it's kind of dragging. Now I kind of know why the toy sales have been slow. Uh, Ron Diaz with the $5 super chat, Thrilling 30 can be counted as Studio Series IDW. Great molds, which can count as comic studio series. Now we need studio series Marvel, Dreamwave next. Well, that question was posed to Aaron and Mark about does comic books count as studio series? And they said it's possible, but they're not really counting it just yet. So while that would be cool, I mean, some of those Alex Milne kind of designs and Casey Collar designs from IDW would probably find a nice place there as studio series stuff. Dreamwave, it would just be more blocky. If you want studio series Dreamwave, look at the Revoltech line that they did, the non-transformable Revoltech stuff that they did for Transformers. That's all the Dreamwave designs there, except they did a Wonder Festival exclusive Diatlas. That one, unfortunately, is not based off of anything Dreamwave and is very fragile and breakable, and I do not suggest you buy it. Mine is hanging on by a thread. For something that doesn't transform and it still breaks, that's pretty bad. Mikey and Louie. Orion Pax wouldn't just let his best friend stay dead and only save Ariel. Come on again. Bros before hoes. Some good advice. Black Crow Vengeance #1 for clarification. I meant the aligned continuity overall, including video games. See, you know what? I understand that people include the War for Cybertron video games as part of the Prime continuity. Man, they were not written like that, though. They are so pre G1, their own thing. I know on paper that's what it is, but I so don't like to count it because it just doesn't have the same feel. Really doesn't. Especially characters like what's his name there, barricade and not barricade, oh my god, who was later on in the show, breakdown, breakdown and all of them, like it's just they're so out of character. It clearly is intended that it's like a separate continuity. It really is. Obviously they try to tie it up with the Fall of Cybertron game. Don't want to spoil it on a 15-year-old game, but rescue bots, heat wave's good. Danny Burns, but that's a human character. Heat wave's cool, I guess. Boulder's cool, I guess. You know, Joseph Ritter, Kung Fu Tea has an official Pigman crossover. Yes, they do. They're actually doing something with Nintendo also. If you have Nintendo points, they're doing a campaign where you could get bags and stuff and all kinds of crazy things. Go now. I don't have one in my town. Um, yeah, they did a Kung Fu Tea did a Kirby one not too long ago. And the only reason I know that I have a friend who shout out to Julian, #1 Kirby fan in the world, loves his Kirby. You see him sometimes at TFCon. Uh, yeah, we don't have that here either, but I know Nintendo's doing a lot of Pikmin stuff recently. Ryan Strange, the only Dreamwave stuff I can see them doing in Studio Series is War Within. Yes, anything War Within. Eh, and still the microphone gets in the way. Eh. Any of that, see, Titaniums had all that War Within stuff. And while the Titaniums line was kind of hit or miss, I love War Within. I love Don Figueroa's designs. Give me more War Within. War Within to me is my pre-Transformers G1 story. I love the way they handled that. And the way it was written was practically intended. Him getting the flashback and seeing the dam, Energon Mace Axe battle with Megatron Optimus. It's so intended for that. Joseph Ritter, how do you feel about two whole pages having the words redacted within across them in the issue #1 Skybound Transformers? Seems a bit lazy. I did not see that. What is this about now? Two whole pages having the words redacted written across them in issue 1 of Skybound Transformer. I didn't read it yet. Really? Did that happen? Oh, Jason, I missed your super chat? Sorry, hold on. Let me check. Oh, you wrote something under it. I thought you were just sorry. Okay, Jason, one sec. One sec. Jason with the super chat question for Two Bones. Do you think we get Studio Series Optimus in 24? Uh you might have to follow me up there. What do you mean in 24? You might have to give me a little more information there, Jason, and then we will be good. So you don't have to super chat again, just type it again. But yeah, getting back to the Skybound thing, I did not read the latest book yet. I didn't even know it was out yet. Is it out yet? Did I miss it? I have it on my pull bin with shout out to Mark the Comic Hunter. I did not know that's even out yet. I must have missed something. It's been a busy past couple of weeks. Been still decompressing from TFCon Toronto. Still planning and thinking about TFCon Orlando. Something that I'm really thinking deeply about. I don't know how I want to tackle it, but I do want to go to it. And I'm just kind of scratching my chin. I want to go chill with Aaron and be at the table and do cool stuff, but it's like, hmm, I will see. I will see. I will see. Definitely the West Coast one because it's the 40th. I'll be there, but Orlando is the one where it's like, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I need some more fans who are going there to convince me. Uh, got it at San Diego Comic Con. Oh, okay. I did not know. I did not know they were handing out early copies. Well then, Joseph, scan it and send it to me. I already paid for it. I have it in my pull bin, so it's not like I'm stealing the book. Um, I want to be able to read it early then. Unless it's the Void Rivals one, those I have already. Issues 1 and 2. Mikey and Louie, tackle it fast and hard. Don't let TFCon know you are coming. Indeed. Ron Diaz, if you go to Orlando, hit me up. I am in Florida. Well then, are you going to be going to TFCon is the question. Because usually how it works, a lot of times with these shows, unfortunately, I fly in, I go from airplane to hotel, do my thing at the con, then back from hotel to airplane. I rarely kind of go out and do stuff. Uh, but yeah, send me a message, and if you're figuring out something, I don't know, I'll try to figure it out. Jason Alexander, follow up to your super chat. My bad. I meant Studio Series 86 Prime. Oh yeah. Okay. So Evan mentioned that Evan wants to do. So the thing with Evan and Mark is they're looking at a lot of the stuff that came from the John Warden era. So like we had Earthrise Optimus Prime leader class with the trailer and the body and everything. And Evan and Mark, they kind of look at it as a challenge. Like, okay, that's the John Warden era. That's the John Warden tooling. We want to do our own version. I almost guarantee we're going to get some kind of crazy Optimus item from that crew next year for the 40th anniversary. I would not be surprised. And we already have listings for stuff that seems in that kind of vein. So we will see. Same thing. Evan talked about revisiting Soundwave for Studio Series 86. He's not happy with that Soundwave is shorter than Blaster because one is a John Warden design. The Blaster was a Evan and Mark design from later Kingdom going into Legacy. So we will see. We will see. Where are we at here? Ron says, yes, I will go to TFCon. 3-hour drive for me. Awesome. Hope you're getting a hotel room then and you're not just doing the drive. I do a 5-hour drive for TFCon, 6 hours sometimes, and you got to get a hotel room. You don't want to be doing that driving back and forth. Mikey and Louie, how could they really improve on Studio Series 86 Optimus? Well, just the design of the Earthrise Optimus on a veneering detail is not 100% like his show model. There is some liberties in the little fine details. So I feel right away there is they could do improvement. And then the inside of that roller was kind of bland, so they could go to town on that one. That's what I feel, first of all. Mikey Louie says, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. I think I will hit that like button. And like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. How many people did we have? We topped out already at a pretty good number. Would really like Soundwave and Blaster designs that hold masterpiece size tapes. Well, those would be slightly larger tapes, but then it would have to be slightly larger figures. Because I'm just looking at the scale of my Soundwave and going like, that's almost a 12-inch figure. Then you'd have to do something that's more in that leader class, which I'm pretty sure would not be recommended at all for scale. We already did a leader class Soundwave and Blaster. That was the Titans Return Power of the Primes ones, and those were not well received at all by the fans. At all, unfortunately. They did not do much with those afterwards. We only got 20 minutes left in the live stream tonight. Mm-mm-mm. Get your super chats in while these guys are slowly not falling over. I'm surprised how well these work. I'm surprised. Look at that. Ah! Look at that. I'm telling you, Symbiote Studios, you got to make some Transformer ones then. This is your test market. These are your in-house characters, but pretty cool. I didn't even notice they were there half the time. Look at that. Ugh. Oh no, there he goes. I apologize. Uh, and they stick right on. That's pretty cool. Is this your idea or did you steal it from somebody? Pretty cool. Um, Honestly, barely even bigger, and I think they could be done. Well, I guess. I guess I'd have to. Blaster and Soundwave are in the display now, so I can't really compare. But then they'd have to change all the tapes all over again. Then people would have to rebuy all the tapes all over again. So that would be a whole crazy thing. J.R. Mina from the Philippines. Hi, Proto. What is for dinner? We are going Italian tonight. I'm gonna go with pasta and baguettes with garlic bread. I need to get my carb level up. It was kind of low the past week or so, doing some exercise. So I'm gonna chomp into that. Tomorrow, I'm going to be seeing a movie downtown, and Montreal has some of the best food in the world. So I'm probably, I don't know if Jaws D is listening in the background. Maybe we'll go for shish taouk or samosa or shawarmas. I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood for some concentrated protein and chicken breast, and it's delicious. It's high in sodium though, but you could cheat sometimes. So I'm kind of down for that. We'll see. That's gonna be downtown Montreal, yo. I'll be there tomorrow. Gonna be excited about that. Slam dunk, yo. Very excited about that. Joseph, the names are Firecracker Raccoon and Catnip Bravo. Well, you got to do a Transformer one to match. Oh, I'm not. I'm wearing the Optimus pin today, but I'm wearing the Catnip Convoy shirt. Symbiote Studios, check them out. Good stuff. Mikey and Louie, when do you think we will get a new TF HasLab reveal? Probably the next month with the Hasbro Pulse thing. I think Hasbro Pulse Con, they're going to get some celebrity like they did last time to do the big reveal. Because last time they did the RoboSen, they brought on, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. They did all of that. Hey, here's our big $1,000 Transformer item, RoboSen Optimus. So I think this time around, their big reveal with celebrities and stuff. And they said there's going to be celebrities there. So they'll probably have some big celebrity thing and it'll be like, hey, here's our 40th anniversary. I'm not going to say what it is, but 40th anniversary thing. And here's our celebrity that's going to go, ooh, totally get it, guys. So that's what I think. That's what I think. Some good stuff. Some good stuff. For the 40th anniversary, it will be some good stuff, to say the least. Much like getting some Symbiote Studios product. Plug. No, I always plug Symbiote Studios because I love their stuff. I love their stuff. I wouldn't be wasting valuable space in my room otherwise. They deserve the space. They got some good stuff. Mikey and Louie, what will be the new G.I. Joe crossover figure? The next rumor is the Triple T, which is Sergeant Slaughter's vehicle, which will come with a Sergeant Slaughter figure. I actually did a segment about this, but we don't know who the figure will be. I was thinking either Ironhide or Cup, someone who's a drill sergeant kind of character. So Ironhide or Cup. Cup was a drill sergeant in the comics and in the Cyberverse cartoon. Ironhide was also like a drill sergeant, so I could see that. That'd be pretty cool. But probably Ironhide, I think they're going to do. But Triple T is kind of green, so I don't know. A green Ironhide? We'll see. Unless they really focus on the red when they do the transformation. So, but that's the rumor. And if they do Optimus, what will it turn into? I would want, again, I always say, you got to do the Rolling Thunder, but because it has to be to scale with those O-ring figures, they can't do the Rolling Thunder because the Rolling Thunder is. I own the Rolling Thunder. It's one of my favorite vehicles that I had as a kid, along with the Rhino, the Hiss Tank, and what was that big hovercraft? The Barracuda? It wasn't mine, but a friend of mine had it. I used to love that thing. We would go to the beach all the time and play with that. We played with our toys in the sand, and we loved it. Loved it. Wasn't a big fan of G.I. Joe as a kid watching the cartoons, but I loved the toys growing up because they were just so fun to play with and the articulation was so fun. And I used to like, because they were so articulated, you could put like the hands behind their backs and you could make it like, characters were captured and in handcuffs. Like it was so fun. I love those. And then I saw the cartoon like in my later youth, and I saw like the Deke version, and of course the rental tapes with The Traitor Part 1 and 2, and fell in love with Dusty, and then Dusty how he was in the comics was awesome, and the rest was history. The rest was history. The Whale, was it called The Whale? Yeah, maybe you're right. I think it was The Whale. It's that big one, that big, it's huge. I remember it was huge. Love that one. That was so cool. Never got that one as an adult, but that was another favorite of mine as a child. I loved that one. So cool. Again, we would always go to the beach, and yes, we have beaches here in Montreal. We would always go to the beach, and there would be like this nice area that we'd find that was like half shaded and but also near the water, so you could play and you didn't have to be in the sun, but you had the water right there, so it was really cool. Used to play all the time. Good stuff. Um, Mike and Louie, how likely would we see a sequel to a Beasties movie? Well, you know, the conversation that we're having right now is Japan just got Rise of the Beast. We're not going to get those numbers until a week later. And then we'll really know how well the movie did in its opening week in Japan. And then from there, we'll be able to at least know those numbers, and then that'll be that, because unfortunately there is no extra numbers that are going to come from a home release because DVD sales are not what they used to be. There's no more rental market. Everything's on streaming services, not to mention people bootleg stuff when it hits streaming services because now they have a very easy way to one for one capture things. I mean, I like there's people that literally they stream it on Paramount Plus and they just attach, their laptop, and then they use screen grabbing software and they just steal it. So it's like by putting it so early on a streaming service before it has the physical release is such a bad mistake. But again, I understand there's probably a relationship with Paramount and, oh, we got to get it first because it's an exclusive and then people are going to get the streaming service to go see it. Sure. It's the new world we live in, unfortunately. Catnip Bravo's falling. Ugh, put it forward there. But yeah, so I think unfortunately, I feel like when it's all said and done with Japan, unless Japan has some crazy numbers, now he's falling forward. Unless Japan has some crazy numbers, I think we're breaking even. Hasbro did that conference call and they were saying, like, oh, top movie of the season. That conference call was for the investors. They sometimes not tell the truth and embellish things so that the investors can be like, okay, I'll keep my money. So, yeah, I like the movie, but the numbers were not that great. I'm disappointed in China. Um, China really showing its cards like it always does. Whenever there's any character with any kind of melanin on the screen, they don't show up. And that movie was advertised with characters that were not white. And that scared China away and made them not want to see the movie. Because that's how China is, unfortunately. See the history of China and Black Panther and the Star Wars movies. But I don't want to get into that, but that's a whole other story. But, China is a big part of these Transformer movies and why they have such expensive budgets because they bank, these companies bank on China picking up the slack and a lot of the money. And the fact that China didn't show up, well, that didn't work out. What the hell is a Biden whisper? As a Canadian who doesn't care about American politics, I have no idea what that means. You know what? I don't even know what that means. I'm going to call it a regular whisper. It's called whispering into a microphone. I hope you heard me at least. Um, you gave the movie a 9.5. I wouldn't give it a 9.5, but it's definitely, if out of all the movies that we've gotten thus far of the live action movies, number one is the 2007 movie because, and again, it has nothing to do with Transformers being a part of it. It has to do, is it even a good movie? Beginning, middle, and end, good pace, good storytelling, enjoyable characters. Was it funny? Was it entertaining? Was it emotional? All of those little factors that might, involve a movie being enjoyable and action. I like that first movie. That'll be the best one of the bunch, not counting the 86 movie and the Beast Wars movie. Beast Wars is in the Beast Wars second animated movie in Japan. And then this one is a distant but good second place, is Rise of the Beast. And then after that, I don't know. Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, The Last Night. All of them are kind of, they're all the same to me. Maybe I'll give Dark of the Moon a bit of an edge because I didn't expect the Sentinel Prime betrayal. So I'll give it that. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. Snowlato with the $5 super chat. How you doing, Snowlato? What's up, brother? We only got 10 minutes left, too. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Proto, starting a Beast Machines ABD, I guess, shelving. Wondering if cat is meowing in the background there. Wondering if it gets explained why the maximal, I guess so, because you're typing on your phone probably. So I'm going to assume you said, I'm starting the Beast Machines DVD and wondering if it gets explained why the Maximals are in the season one Beast forms. So, yes, they do explain it. I don't want to spoil, but But yeah, it does get explained. Megatron shoots some stuff and it sends them to their base forms. And their base forms apparently are maximal forms. What's weird with that is, wouldn't it be even a form before that? Wouldn't it have been before they trans scanned everything when they were on the Beast planet? But semantics, it's mainframe reusing CG assets as opposed to having to make new CG assets because they didn't have pre-Beast forms for Primal and Rat Trap and Cheetor and Black Arachne. Technically, Black Arachne, you see a pre-form somewhat in her pod, but for a split second in silver. But, like, I guess they're just, it's easier to just reuse those assets. Uh, Japan is the same way, I believe. Not as much, though. Not as much. Japan, like, the reason why I say this is because I look at stuff like Into the Spider-Verse and I look at the Star Wars movies. Japan at least showed up in the same numbers that they've done for other stuff. Where when you look at Bumblebee and Last Night and then you look at this movie, man, did they just go, screw this, China. Like, China was like, nope. They noped out of that one real quick. Real quick. So it is what it is, unfortunately, but whatever. China has to get over themselves sometimes. It is what it is. Don't want to live there, that's for sure. Canada #1 for life. Mikey and Louie, what is interesting to think about is only two that did not have any forms to go back to were Silverbolt and Rhinox, and what happened to them. Yeah, I know exactly. Like, and what would happen to Silverbolt? Did he split into two forms? Oh wait, is that what happened? Was Silverbolt becoming? Oh no, wait, I'm spoiling stuff. I don't. Okay, I don't want to spoil stuff for Snorlato, but anyways, go check them out. I believe if you have the DVDs, the DVD is the complete. I think season 1 and 2 were two separate DVD box sets, if I remember correctly, by Studio Rhino. So check it out. Awesome stuff. I don't want to spoil too much. Ooh, someone from Trinidad and Tobago. I wish Jaws D was here. We have a lot of people from Trinidad. That's funny. We have listeners who were born there, and we got a bunch of Trinidad treats that were brought to us by a listener in the podcast. We even tried them out. The spicy Bigfoot, that was good though. Those were really good. The Bigfoots, the spicy chips, delicious and addictive. Um, I already answered the what's for dinner, unless it's for Michael Koo. Michael Koo, what's for dinner? I'm curious what he's having. I also bought I bought egg whites and stuff, so I might make breakfast tomorrow too. But again, I'm going out to see a movie. You're really falling, aren't you? I'm going out to see a movie, so I'll probably grab shawarma or whatever. We'll see if Jaws D is listening. Trans Tech for life. What could have been? Check out that segment from the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. We did the Trans Tech segment. Probably the most complete Trans Tech segment you will ever have. There is no better. If there is a Trans Tech segment on YouTube that has more views than us, shame on us because we should have the most views because it's the most complete segment about that line from the source. So go check out our Trans Tech segment on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer if you haven't, and go check out the Beyblade one because we talked about other stuff too with that. We are having Papa Murphy's pizza. I have no idea what that is, but stuffed pizza. I'm going to assume stuffed crust. Jelvis of Protoman's Italian dinner. Well, it's that was more planned, Joseph. I needed carbs because I was low on carbs, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to have a few silly pasta with some garlic bread. It's been a while. I try to avoid carbs because let's be real, most Italian food is not good for you. It's glue, as I like to say it. But once in a while, if you can't get concentrated carbs and some stuff, it's good for workout. It's good post workout stuff. Iced coffee, that's good too. Everyone's having good stuff, man. We always have our food talk in the last 5 minutes or so. Love the food. Food is life. The show that could have been when season 2 ended and Beasties and Meg shot Optimus. We thought it was going to be a whole time travel crazy story coming up. Well, you have the comics. You have the Wreckers books and the BotCon comics, kind of were the unofficial sequel to Beast Machines in a lot of ways. So if you want continuation of Beast Machines, you go to the Transformers Wreckers books from BotCon slash Fun Publication slash 3H, and then they also had the Beast War, the Transformers Universe books. Also, pick those up. Transformers for life. I literally wrote that in my yearbook, and it wasn't cringy because we were a badass high school. I literally said Transformers for life, faux life, and it wasn't joking. I had the best high school ever. It was so cool. It is what it is. Just ate a veggie steak, and let me tell you, it was not good. Really, Joseph, it wasn't good. Steaks are good, veggies are good. A veggie steak, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of those Beyond Meat stuff is kind of eh. If I'm gonna eat steak, I'm gonna eat steak. If I'm gonna eat veggies, I'm gonna eat veggies. They both have their positives and negatives. It is what it is. We got 4 minutes left, people. Get a few super chats in, and then we will call it quits. In the meantime, while you're doing your super chats, I will do some more plugging of my beautiful people. So again, Symbiote Studios, go scan that QR code, get the Power Ranger stuff. I got the Megazord, excuse me, the Dino Megazord chilling back there with the others, trying to get everyone in shot. We're gonna probably in the future, we're gonna try to get. I really want to just do a brand new shot. I want to do like something with a shot down, and we're gonna open things together and all kinds of cool stuff. Have you had Vegemite? Yes, I've had, Paul, for the $2 super chat from Australia. Vegemite is available here in Canada. It is ridiculously salty, though. Very salty. Uh, Considering I get enough salt and sodium already from all the Asian cuisine that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, something like Vegemite is not necessary. Steak has more positive and negatives. I agree with you there, Ryan. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Paul. Uh, a lot of good. It's red meat though, so not too much of it. If you have to have protein, you're better off with chicken breast and pork. But the red meat, you want to probably cut down on it. But you know, if you cook it with some olive oil, put it in a pan, get some good clean protein there. It's not as clean as chicken breast, but it's definitely just as good. The problem with steak as opposed to chicken breast, steak, while it's a good protein, also takes longer to digest with your metabolism and slows it down. So if you're trying to lose weight or deal with weight, steak is probably not as good as chicken breast. Chicken breast will burn quicker, gives you the protein you need, and doesn't slow down your metabolism. It's just basic health science of eating. Poor Aaron Archer had to deal with that. We at the TFCon staff dinner thingy room there. I walked in and I saw lasagna and I just went ugh, and then I walked away. because lasagna is like the worst thing you could possibly eat if you're trying to maintain a good bio gut. It's just it's pasta layers of layers of layers. Hey, look, if you love lasagna, good for you. But probably like I rather eat a whole pizza, like a whole pepperoni pizza, than have a slice of lasagna. That's how unhealthy lasagna is for your body in the deeper scheme of things. Like I rather eat a whole thing of pizza, like a whole pie. So, but steak is, steak's good, but it slows down your metabolism. Chicken is the best. The chicken breast, yo, if you could get chicken breast, don't not deep fried chicken, not chicken nuggets, chicken breast, some good chicken breast. Even if look, go to Costco. I know they're a little buttery and there's a lot of sodium on it. You get that chicken there, take off the chicken breast from it, take off the skin. I know throwing out the skin is sacrilege, but some good chicken breast, cheap. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. And we are done tonight, my peeps, for the Transformer Slag podcast. Again, thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for all the super chats and all the love and support from the fans. It was a good one today. We are back here in the toy room. We probably won't go back to the video game room anytime soon. We were just kind of testing stuff out and kind of just messing with some things here and there. We might do maybe impromptu little unexpected streams in the video game room if I have free time and play some gaming. But in general, we're looking at different recording areas and stuff. We want to do stuff different going into 2024. And this guy falling off. Um, I really want to get a second camera and do a top down thing because I really want to in the future like do stuff where it's like, hey, we got some cool product. Yeah, I got a Wargreymon Digimon thing. This is actually they're on sale at Dollarama. They're $4 Canadian, so it's like 250 American. Picked one up. They didn't have the Garurumon, the Garurumon. I wanted the metal Garurumon. That's my boy there. Um, so what was I getting at? Digimon threw me off. So I want to get like, a cool top-down shot and everything because I want to have like books and stuff and show cool rare things and do unboxings with you guys live and everything while doing the live stream. So more stuff we're going to be planning in the future with the live streams with the Transformer Slag podcast. So stay tuned with that. Otherwise, thank you for all the love and support. If you want to continue supporting the podcast, we have the Patreon link down there. Hit that Patreon link. Come join the Patreon. You get access to Discord, and we have sales and deals and all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to be shipping out the Patreon exclusive, aka TFCon exclusive. This is the prototype from Mikey and Louie, but you're going to get the actual version, the Famicom Boy. That's going to be shipping out soon to all the patrons and stuff. We're going to be doing that next week and start shipping them out. So we're going to have that done. Maybe we'll do a second batch if I go to Orlando. I am not making that promise yet. We will see. We will see. I have to figure out what's happening first because that's plane flights and hotel rooms and all of that stuff and figuring that all out. If I have a free floor I could sleep on, in Florida, that would definitely help me. And it's not me trying to be a sleazebag, try to get a free room, but definitely would make life easier with figuring that out because that's always a headache. Don't worry about the plane flight, I'm covered there, but the hotel room is always a headache, you know, because there's a lot of politicking. Let's put it this way with hotel rooms and stuff. If I get a hotel room, then I have to help people with stuff, and I want to be able to help Aaron with his table and do that stuff and have that more social freedom for the weekend. People see me at TFCon Toronto. I'm burned out when I help out with that show. I'm really burned out when I help out with that show. The rest of the weekend is a wash in a lot of ways. To be able to travel to something and then kind of relax and not have to be obligated to help with the show would be fantastic. I don't mind doing a panel here and there, chilling at Aaron's table, signing some autographs, help, doing meeting, greeting with fans. That's cool. But to do all the other stuff for the rest of the weekend, that's a trip and a half to get off a plane and then have to do a 4 hour plane flight and then have to do all of that. I don't know. So we will see. We will see. There's a lot of politicking, let's put it that way, on the business side of it when it comes to the Transformer conventions. But we'll see what's happening. Anyways, guys, thank you for all the love and support. Again, Patreon link down there, YouTube membership if you want to join that. That was the beautiful green names that we have here on the left. Thank you for all the super chats from all the beautiful people that gave all the super chats today and some of the new names that I've not seen before. So thank you for all of that. I'm out of here, guys. I am going to go nibble on some stuff and then play some Nintendo. I actually want to revisit the new Bomberman game is coming out soon. Bomberman R2. So I'm excited about that one coming out. I'm going to be playing that soon. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Take care. Love you. It's a beautiful world out there. Enjoy life and all the cool things in it. See you later.